for anybody that's considering this program, it's work.
Yeah.
But it's worth it, right? It's not, because the whole point is being put in uncomfortable things so that you push through it and learn how to navigate things that are uncomfortable. And it's uncomfortable to approach strangers. But because you guys are there, there's safety in it, in this program. Push through it. You know, if you're going to do this, sign up, pay the money, and push through, and it'll be worth it.
Hi guys, it's me, Johnny Cassell. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, we have a very special guest. We have Tyler, who has just completed my 7-day immersion program. Tyler, how does it feel?
I feel good, yeah.
Congratulations, dude. I mean, what a week it's been.
Yes.
And what I want to get from this conversation is a few of the reasons why you decided that you needed help in this area.
Yeah.
And that this was a plausible solution for you.
Yeah, it's simple. I wanted to do this immersion program because I found myself suddenly single, right? I'm 43 years old and I was terrified out of my mind because I look into the future and I see so many problems with relationships and with the dating scene, and I'm like, oh no, I'm back in the dating scene. And when you look online, it just seems hopeless. It seems terrible. Everybody's beat down. Everybody's terrorizing each other for fun, things like that. And so looking at it from the outside and being in a position where I haven't been in that scene for 15 years, all of a sudden getting back into it, I felt like I just didn't know where to start. I didn't know how to go about things. My confidence was low. There was a lot of things I didn't understand. So I just wanted some experts.
Right. So 15 years, tell us a bit about that. So you were in a relationship that you felt was no longer serving you?
Yeah, it was a very difficult relationship. And I, through personal counseling and some trusted advisors and friends and pastors that I was working with, I really came to the decision that I needed to get that relationship out of my life.
Okay.
Yeah. It was difficult mentally and hard on me.
So coming into the week, prior to the week, what is it that you really wanted to get out of this experience?
I wanted experience with things that are difficult for me. For example, I don't want opportunity. Well, okay. What I wanted to get out of this week, in particular, is that when I see opportunities, like even on the street, or if I'm at a store and there's somebody I'd like to go talk to them, and it could be anybody. It could be a woman that I think is attractive. It could just be somebody that I think looks cool for whatever reason. I think we all have a bit of anxiety about just going up to strangers and talking to them, especially if you're interrupting them. But sometimes that's the only chance you'll ever have to talk to that person. So I honestly wanted to just hit that one idea again and again and again with people who know how to do it and know how to navigate the difficulties socially that come up with those things. So I knew that was going to be you guys.
Right.
Yeah.
So, what was it that you felt that you were coming up against, having a go at this in your own time?
Yes. I work... Sorry. The things that I come up against on my own when I'm trying to do these things without instructors and without experts who can tell me what I'm doing wrong are my own mental roadblocks that I put in front of myself. I'll see somebody, I want to talk to them, I'm starting to question everything. I'm thinking, why would that person want to talk to me? I'm dumb, I'm an idiot, I look terrible or whatever. And those are mental roadblocks that only exist here, right? And I knew they only existed in my mind, but that doesn't mean I had the strategy and tools to just get it out of the way and get out of my own way and start doing it. So I really wanted people like you guys to just be pushing me, forcing me to do it, and telling me what I'm doing wrong when I do it so that I can navigate the complexities that come up in those kinds of situations.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And, you've had such a transformation this week, both, physically and mentally.
Yes, yeah,
I mean, I think a lot of what we don't tell you really is how exhausting it is on the mind, right? Because you're learning new things and you're going against the grain of you're resisting perhaps internally, and And so what for you at the beginning was the most apparent breakthrough?
The first breakthrough that
Yes.
was apparent. I remember one day you were pushing me. There was several incidents where you really pushed me. One of them, though, that really stuck out is there was two people talking. They were sitting together. I think it was at a table, and they're talking, and it's like, go interrupt them. And I'm like, what? You don't interrupt people when they're talking. That's rude. But the thing is, it's only an interruption if you're bringing something awkward and weird to them. If you're interrupting, I mean, no matter what, it's an interruption. But when you go up to them and it's a calm, again, like an energy that you're projecting, and there's nothing tense or high pressure about it, then they don't mind. They don't necessarily see it as an interruption. And if they do, you just move on. We shouldn't see people as like a target or a goal, right? They're people. Sometimes they're going to be interested in talking. Sometimes they're not. And that's okay. It's not a rejection. That was one of the first breakthroughs.
Okay.
I remember another one. You want me to tell you another one?
Yeah, of course. let's go for a list.
Okay, so I think this is the biggest breakthrough that I first saw. Okay? And this is why I wanted you guys.
Yeah.
I wanted somebody to watch me interact with somebody and tell me anything you saw that's going wrong. And you did that immediately and said, you step forward when you start talking to somebody, almost like you're excited that somebody wanted to talk to you. And from my perspective, I always saw that as maybe that's endearing, or maybe I'm showing them that I am excited, or I'm showing them that I'm focused on them. But you're like, no, you're making them feel uncomfortable. Right. And it's creating pressure, and you're invading their space. You should be calm. You should be relaxed. This is something that happens all the time, rather than something like, yeah, a human's talking to me. Yeah, which is what I was projecting.
Yeah, I remember quite clearly.
But I needed somebody to watch me to tell me that. There's no way I knew that that's what I looked like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're looking amazing. The styling job that Dale has done is fantastic. I mean, what we'll do on this video is definitely get a before and after. Maybe we can put that on the video now as you're watching this. There's a look at the before.
Please hide your eyes if you're watching. I don't want you to see the before.
But we joked, right? On reflection, you were like, wow, like looking back, I looked homeless.
Yeah,
and
I did.
I was going out, leaving a house and approaching people like that.
Yeah.
And once Dale had done the styling, still there was some getting used to new things, new aspects of that.
Right.
But I think when you went out there and got the feedback from the market, and sort of difference in how well you were being received.
Yes.
I mean, the proof was in the pudding, right?
Yes. So the big difference I felt from the styling after I worked with Dale was not anything anybody said. What was actually beautiful is I started the week with a couple of days without working with Dale. And then when we finally got it all completed, maybe Wednesday, my third or fourth day in, I went out again. And so I contrasted, this is what it's like going out. Like I'm with Johnny, he's telling me what to do, but it's difficult and people are still acting standoffish, or maybe that I'm doing things a little bit weird. And then I go out, do the exact same stuff, but this time Dale had worked with me to have a style, and people are well received. I'm well received. I mean, people are receiving me, and they're not standoffish. And the body language is being open towards me. People aren't rushing to get out of conversations just overnight. One of the biggest things that I've seen from all of that is do everything you can to make another person feel comfortable.
Yeah. Nobody
will not want to talk to somebody that's making them feel comfortable.
It reminds you of, there's a funny meme that's gone around, I'm sure everyone has seen it, where it's, what is harassment? And there's a picture of like a guy that's looking like the old you, and then they've got like this really attractive version of the same guy, and it's like, this is the difference, So it does matter. Looks do matter, and it just goes to show we can all choose to look better. Yeah, and we've done a great job of that this week.
Hey, thanks. I would say thanks actually, but it's Dale. I mean, I had no idea what to do. I'm just like, tell me what to do, I'll do it. I felt uncomfortable. I felt weird. but I just stuck with it. And again, seeing how I was received made me realize.
And the styling is congruent with your interests.
Yes.
That's important.
Yes.
Right. It's not like, oh, just put this on because it looks cool.
Yes.
It's okay. Well, let's just take a view of what you got going on, or who is the version of yourself you would like to be, and let's turn that into something.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. And so, how was working with myself then? You said that I pushed you quite hard.
Yeah. So each of you guys kind of have a theme, right?
Correct.
And when I'm with you, the theme is be calm, be slow, make people feel comfortable with spatial awareness, right? And that makes you approachable, and you're not putting any pressure on them. And it was really helpful just watching you walk around, because you're a master at stance and posture, and so that helped me. I'm like, I'm gonna walk around like Johnny does, so that's helpful. And you asked, I'm sorry, what it was that you pushed me to do?
Yeah. Like, what is it you got out of working with me?
With you specifically, it was like, even if you have to run after somebody, go run after somebody. And you had me do that a couple times. Literally, I ran, and you think that's going to be terrible. It's going to be a disaster.
The first time you did it?
Yeah, the first time I did it, I was really well received, and they were happy. It wasn't, not only were they okay, their face. It was a woman, and she was very attractive, and her face just lit up, and she thanked me, for I don't know if she thanked me, but we exchanged like Instagrams and. And it was just a great experience. And so I made her feel better, which made me feel better, And but I had to run after her to do that. So that was really a good push.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're just like, don't let it pass you by. So just that idea of pushing yourself, no matter what the situation is. That was one of the big things that I got also out of working with you.
Great.
Yeah.
And the next person, it was Dale you worked with you had an evening session with him as well.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So navigating that space, how was that?
It was effortless. So again, it was difficult when I was with you because it was scary. I was in uncomfortable situations, which is exactly what I wanted, right?
Yeah.
I had a week of being really uncomfortable so that when I get back, I can face uncomfortable situations, but a lot of them are not uncomfortable, right? So I did that, and then when I go out with Dale, I've got my style taken care of. I felt better, and I'm being well received. So that night was just effortless. Like everybody wants to talk to you. All of a sudden, when you look comfortable and you look cool, like you're projecting coolness out of you.
Yeah,
that's how I see it. Yeah. So that's what I felt with Dale.
And H, how was working with H?
H was really interesting. That was again a theme. We went around to just different venues, and he was showing me how cool it is to just walk into a place and know everybody, And I'm used to that from my church background, like walking in and knowing everybody at church, and that's fun. And so there's a lot of places you can go and know people,
Right.
So anywhere you go, meeting the staff and meeting the security or anybody, and so that way they know who you are. That was just really powerful, right? It's
instantly transferable in any social landscape.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
And H had slides too that we went through together that were pretty cool. He was going through like visuals of these are the types of situations you might encounter. So it was really helpful.
Great.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Adrian.
Yeah.
Like the drill sergeant.
Yeah.
He literally, I like to put Adrian at the end of the week to okay, we've warmed you up now. Now go get it. go. It's like let off my dog,
It's funny you see him like that because actually... it was like with you, it was scary to go out with you. It was great. I'm glad it was. But it's because it was all these uncomfortable situations and stuff. And then when I go out with Adrian, it was like I felt a little more at ease because he wasn't pushing me for the scary situations as much. It was more like normal types of stuff, first of all. But then secondly, we would work together on approaches to make, and again, making people feel comfortable with your approach. Yep. And then he gave me like a cheat sheet of conversation topics whenever there's a lull, right? Because you don't want that. You don't want a lull in a conversation with somebody who doesn't know you, because then it's like, oh, this person's boring. I don't want to talk to them.
Yeah.
So it just helped so much. Yeah, I really enjoyed working with Adrian a lot.
Amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I love working with all of you guys, but yeah, it was really fun.
And you know, now that you've come to the end of the week,
Yeah.
you know, is there like a moment you've gone back and you've come to a realization of what this now allows you to experience?
Oh yeah, the moments where I realized what this allows me to experience happened when I get home, like, and I'm laying in bed thinking about it, or the next morning, I'm just like, I can't believe the possibilities this is going to open up. Right. I'm a Christian. Okay,
I mean, you had breakfast with like the CEO of Vidal Sassoon, was that right?
Yeah,
like, one morning.
Yeah, so I'm eating breakfast, and 2 seats away from me is a woman who's maybe 15 years older than me,
yeah.
And we're just eating kind of in silence. But towards the end of the meal, we start talking, and she starts mentioning her houses that she owns all over the place. She found out I was from Dallas. Was like, oh, I own a house in Dallas. This person has a lot of money. And then she's like, have you heard of Vidal Sassoon? I'm the CEO. I'm like, this is so cool. I mean, if you interact with people, you have no idea who you're sitting next to. The only way to miss out on everything is never interact with anybody. Mm-hmm. But the only way to connect and to find interesting stories and interesting relationships is interact and connect with people. And people like good interactions. It's not an interruption.
Right.
Yeah. And also, okay, so that opens up lots of possibilities for networking, meeting new people. Another big thing is I'm a Christian, you know, and I do want to say a lot of people see a lot of these techniques and stuff as kind of associated with sexual immorality, what I would call that, or something. I'm like, this has nothing to do with that, because you need social skills to be able to talk to people. And so one of the big things in the Christian world is evangelism. And like everybody that I've ever seen gets that wrong, you know? If you approach somebody looking cool, feeling cool, and you approach them calmly, I was thinking in my head how much of an impact that could have in the world of evangelism.
Right.
Approaching people and stating intent. That was one of the big things that you guys push. People need to know why you're approaching them. Otherwise, they'll think, I'm about to get sold something or be asked for money.
Yeah, wallet's going to go missing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it gives them a chance to say no.
Yeah.
So, like in evangelism, you can state intent. Hey, I want to ask you a couple faith-based questions. You have a moment. So it's just interesting because this world is pretty far from that, but the strategies and what you guys teach is applicable even to that degree, you know, like all across the board, just interacting with people in a way that makes them feel comfortable and you feel comfortable. Mm-hmm. That's like maybe the most valuable life skill that a human being can possess.
Yeah. Great. So back to that, like going away, you know, you've had these moments of reflection of like how you can move these skills into the other areas of your life,
yes.
networking, influential friendships.
Right.
And the people you meet are passing them on to other people, not necessarily to benefit you yourself.
Yeah.
How do you now see yourself applying this stuff when you're back home? I think that's the most important thing. Like people watching this go, okay, well, he's had a great week. He's had these experiences. I mean, not to mention the dates that you went on as well, like for the start of the week. And but what's your roadmap now? Like, how are you going to take this skill set and apply it back home? Have you thought about that?
I don't have a roadmap per se, but what I've been imagining is that when I get back home, I have all these situations that I already remember. There were opportunities to talk to somebody I wanted to talk to that just passed me by, right? Mm-hmm. Because I was like, I want to talk to them. I know I could if I started it, but I don't know how to approach. And I don't know what are my obstacles and reasons that somebody wouldn't want to talk to me. So the biggest thing is I'm thinking of the grocery stores back home where that has happened. And I'm thinking of like the streets that I live on, the department stores, where I've walked and seen people and interacted with people in a way and seen opportunities to talk to people that pass me by. That's the main thing I'm thinking about. Like when I go back there, I'm not going to act the same way.
You're going to be more of an action taker now.
Yeah. Not just an action taker, but just I'm going to be a calm person that people want to talk to, that I'm not scaring people off. Yeah. You know, I mean, if that's how you are, it's like it's easy. It's easy to talk to anybody when you're not scaring them.
Yeah. And for someone that's sort of like maybe watching this right now, they've been thinking about it and they're humming and ahhing about it. Have you got any words of encouragement for those people that don't kind of pull the trigger?
Right. I've got a lot. Number one, a word of encouragement, right? For anybody that's thinking, should I pull the trigger? If you have the money, so far, right? I haven't gone back, but all I can imagine is these situations I've been in being completely different for me. I'm walking around confident now. I'm walking around knowing what to do. I've got tools and strategies because I was put in difficult situations all week, but I had guys there knowing what to do. Yeah. And I said, hey Johnny, I just talked to this person. It was scary, or this is what happened. And I feel like it went bad, right? What do I do next time? So I have experience after experience of that. And the only way to do that where I feel safe is with somebody there telling me what to do. So I don't know where else you could even get that. I tried to look it up. Like, I researched it. I wanted to find a group that did this, and I couldn't find anybody else. Mm-hmm. It could be that you guys are the only ones doing this, mm-hmm. in which case this could be literally one of the most valuable investments that's out there for yourself. Because it's one thing to read theory. It's another thing to get hands-on experience out in the real world, talking to people with guys that know what to do. Yep. So it's invaluable. You know, I just feel like I have so many more tools at my disposal to just establish relationships and friendships. Because I had a world that I lived in with my marriage for 15 years. That's gone. And a lot of my friendships have kind of dissipated and fallen away because I was in a certain church that I was pastoring the church, you know? Right. So I stepped away from that. I'm like, I don't really have that many friends anymore. The future looks dim because I don't know how to navigate it. And it's like, but so I'm going to reach out to people that know it, which you guys are, and I have found that I made the right decision. This was an amazing decision. I'm very happy. It was worth every penny, you know. Amazing. Absolutely. Amazing. And it could be that y'all are the only ones doing this. Yeah. I don't know that for sure, but it seems like it.
Well, credit's due, right? We do what we do well.
Yeah, you do what you do very well. Oh, I also want to say this. You guys work so hard. Every day is a 10-hour day. And you guys stick with it. I was begging you, please, let's quit. Let's please stop for the day. And you're like, no, we're going to stay here for 5 hours.
There's no siesta here, man.
Yeah, we're going to stay here for 5 hours. Yeah. You know, you've got another hour. Yeah. And I know you're scared. I know that the day's been long, but you need to have more experiences. So you guys forced me to get more value out of my money than I even wanted to. Yeah. So I think it's great. You guys are the real deal. You work hard.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Well, also as well, just to mention that there were certainly times where you wanted to throw in the towel. Yeah. You're like, no, let's just call it a day today. Yeah. And then that little push push that over the hill. Then was an incredible breakthrough. Yeah, yeah. You know, and that just great bit of philosophy there. Like when you feel that you're resisting, right? It's normally an indicator that something new's about to happen. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And that one of the big breakthroughs for me is getting somebody's contact details, you know? That's not exclusive to the world of dating, you know? So getting somebody's contact details is the only way to ever interact with that person again. Mm-hmm. So having the tools to know how to do that in a way that makes them feel comfortable, again, and there's no pressure, it's invaluable, right? Because I can have interactions with somebody. I might not ever see them again, but if I get their Instagram or a phone number, it could be a guy. It could be the CEO of Vidal Sassoon. It could be anybody. If I get their contact details, who knows what could happen? Maybe they see something I post and they like it and they remember our conversation. They remember our interaction. But the only way is to get that. You know? Yeah.
Great.
So that's invaluable too. And you guys push and push and push for that.
Any final words?
The biggest thing I had wanted to say is how hard you guys work. I was surprised. I was like, thank you for working this hard. You know, you really made me feel that I got high value for my money. You know, good. It was great. I also want to say I loved the team. Right, it's not just one person. Each guy has a theme. Each guy has an expertise in an area. So that was just invaluable too. I also like all you guys. You know, and I'm friends with you guys now. So. Yeah. Y'all be getting invites to my wedding and my business ventures that I launch in the future.
Great, I look forward to seeing that.
Yeah, and my book. I'll send you guys copies of my book.
Please do. Yeah. Amazing. Well, I think we're done here on the in the review of the week. Okay. As from our side and behalf of the team, it's been a pleasure working with you. It's always a joy to see the transformation that goes on in this week and the sort of elements of like disbelief within themselves, and just sort of stand there with a smile, go, you see, you'll push through, So it's been amazing to see your growth, especially from me working with you on day one, and then getting the reports in of how it's been going throughout the week, and the time we spent in the middle of the week with each other. It's fantastic, and exposing you to new environments that you can perhaps sort of translate back home.
For sure,
they're more in alignment with the direction you want to go in your life.
Exactly. Yes.
And when you do that, those conversations can come a little bit easier.
Exactly right, and that's another thing you guys did that I want to say. Y'all looked at my life and said, okay, you go to grocery stores a lot. Let's go to grocery stores. How do you approach people there? You're in bookstores. Let's go to bookstores. You're out in a park. We were doing just real life things. This wasn't like here's the specific scenario where you approach people. So that was good, and I appreciated that too, and I like. There was one other thing I wanted to say. I can't remember.
Okay.
But it was going to be really good. Yeah.
Well,
I know what it was.
What a cliffhanger to leave it on.
I know what it was. It was
okay.
this. For anybody that's considering this program, it's work.
Yeah.
But it's worth it, right? It's not because the whole point is being put in uncomfortable things so that you push through it and learn how to navigate things that are uncomfortable. And it's uncomfortable to approach strangers, but because you guys are there, there's safety in this program. Push through it. If you're going to do this, sign up, pay the money, and push through, and it'll be worth it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, Tyler, it's been fantastic
Thanks.
to experience this week with you, and I'm really looking forward to the updates and the wedding invites and the product launches.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks.
All of that stuff. Well, guys, you heard it from the horse's mouth there. If you've been thinking about this for some time, thinking about making any sort of significant change in your social, your dating life, your networking capabilities, take a closer look at the program and put yourself forward. There's so much that can happen on the other side of the fear that you're experiencing right now. We've got a great team here that will do all the hand-holding that you need, a beautiful support network. You just can't go wrong. This program really is designed so you can win at the highest level. Head over to johnnycassell.com and check out my programs. Hasta la vista, baby.